dailykin.com.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, hi, I'm so glad you found us. Grab a drink, get comfy, and let's talk about a really important and honestly pretty intense moment in early American history. Today we're going back to March 22nd, 1622, more than 400 years ago, to a single day that completely changed the story of Jamestown and the relationship between English settlers and the Powhatan people. This is the story of what historians usually call the 1622 Jamestown massacre or the Powhatan uprising. But we're going to walk through it together calmly with respect for everyone involved. First, let's set the scene. In the early 1600s, this part of North America, what we now call Virginia, was home to somewhere between 400 and 600 distinct native nations, tribes, bands, and communities just north of Mexico. Across the Americas, probably thousands of different peoples living in incredibly diverse ways. Then, in 1607, a brand new group arrived, the English. They landed right in the middle of Powhatan territory and built a little wooden fort they called Jamestown. The people already living there, the Powhatan Confederacy and their neighbors, were watching these newcomers very carefully. Why did the English come? Honestly, life back in England was rough for a lot of people. Overcrowding, poverty, religious conflicts, not enough land to go around. Thousands of people were willing to risk everything for a fresh start. They were hoping for land of their own, better opportunities, maybe even religious freedom. And the investors who paid for the ships? They were dreaming of gold, spices, or anything else that could make them rich. But right from the beginning, there were big differences in how these two groups saw the world. The English believed in private land ownership, individual farms, written treaties, and living in peace. The Powhatan world worked very differently. Shared use of land, strong tribal alliances, and yes, warfare between groups was part of life, just like it was in Europe at the time. The early years were actually a mix of really hard times and moments of genuine help. The settlers almost didn't make it. Disease, bad water, not enough food, it was brutal. There's a winter they still call the starving time, 1609-1610, when people were eating anything they could find, and some really heartbreaking things happened just to survive. During those desperate months, Powhatan communities sometimes traded food with the settlers. There were real moments of cooperation. But as tobacco started making serious money in the 1610s, more and more English people arrived. More ships, more plantations, more land being cleared. And the Powhatan leaders started to feel like their whole way of life was slipping away. After the paramount chief Powhatan died around 1618, his brother Opechapam took over. But the real military mind was Opechancanough. He and other leaders decided the English expansion had to be stopped, and soon, before it was impossible to push back. On the morning of March 22nd, 1622, Powhatan warriors carried out a huge coordinated surprise attack. They visited English homes and farms, many of them carrying food like deer, fish, or turkeys, acting friendly, even sitting down to eat with people in some cases. Then, at a planned signal, they turned on the settlers using the colonists' own tools and weapons. It was sudden, it was everywhere along the river at once, and it was devastating. Hundreds of outlying farms and small settlements were hit hard. Homes burned, crops and animals destroyed, men, women, and children were killed. Contemporary English records say about 347 people died that day, roughly a third of the colony's population of around 1,200 and 400. Jamestown itself was mostly spared because, according to the records, one native man, possibly named Chanco or Chauco, who had converted to Christianity, warned the settlers the night before, allowing them to get ready. In the weeks and months afterward, the colony was in chaos. Survivors pulled back to fortified places, but they lost so much food and so many supplies that even more people died from hunger and sickness. Back in London, the Virginia Company printed pamphlets calling the attack unbelievably treacherous. Those stories spread fast and made people in England furious. What followed was 10 years of very ugly war, what we now call the Second Anglo-Powhatan War. Raids, burned villages, destroyed crops on both sides. English attitudes changed completely. The early dreams of peaceful coexistence mostly disappeared. By the end of that war, the balance of power had shifted heavily toward the English. The Powhatan Confederacy was seriously weakened, and in 1624, Virginia stopped being a company colony and became a royal colony under direct control of the king. So why talk about this today? Because March 22nd, 1622 was one of those turning point days. It's a moment when two very different worlds collided in a violent, tragic way, and nothing was ever quite the same afterward. Both sides suffered terribly. Both sides had leaders making desperate choices to protect their people. Both sides left behind stories of incredible bravery and heartbreaking loss. History like this doesn't have simple heroes and villains. It has human beings trying to survive in a world that was changing faster than anyone could control. These stories matter. They help us understand where we are now and why some wounds still feel so fresh. If you learned something new today, please give the video a thumbs up. It really helps the channel. And if you'd like to keep exploring early American history together, hit subscribe and ring the bell so we can hang out again soon. Let me know in the comments, what part of Jamestown's story surprises you the most? Or is there another early colony moment you'd like me to cover next? Thanks so much for watching. You're the best. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you in the next one.